Hi there, I'm Heather Gill, local realtor with eXp Realty, and we have a question from texaselder.care. This is a great question for Karen Burkholder. She's a Medicare specialist here in the state of Texas. Karen, thanks for being on with us today.
Thank you, Heather, for having me. I really appreciate it.
I would love, and our viewers here would love to know the answer to this question. It was a question they were asking us. Am I too old to buy life insurance?
That all depends on the carrier. Most of the carriers will write a life insurance policy up to age 80, but like with all life insurance, it's going to depend on your health. So obviously, the older you are and the sicker you are, the more expensive your premiums are going to be. The younger you are, the healthier you are, the less expensive premium you're going to have with your life insurance. And then also look at the difference of your age if you want to do, depending on the type of insurance you want to do, whether you want to build cash value in it or if you just want a term policy. So that will help on the premium amount. But as long as you're under age 80 and in fairly good health, meaning you may be healthy, but if you're on 10 medications, that's what the insurance carriers are going to look at. They look at the pharmaceutical list of drugs, because that's what the pharmacists make sure that you're not, that CVS and Target or actually Walgreens are not filling the same thing, that there's like it's kind of like the credit bureau, but it's a pharmacy bureau where they look to see what medications have been filled this month.
Oh, wow.
So that way you can't go get the same drug in one spot and then go get it in another one and then overdose yourself.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I didn't know that existed.
So because that is in existence, the life insurance and health insurance carriers can look at that as well. But the life insurance does look at the list of medications, and some medications will trigger you going into, on the life insurance side, they call it a table, where there could be as many as 16 tables for rating what your age and then what your specific health is rated at. So if you're in table 1 versus table 16, there's going to be a difference in premium. But basically, as long as you're under the age of 80, we should be able to get you some type of a policy.
Okay.
It may be more of a final expense policy where it's just enough to bury you. But if you're, obviously if you're under 70, definitely under 65, we can actually get one that's more than just enough to bury you.
Okay.
And what it's like the fun thing that I keep telling my husband, if he doesn't have a life insurance policy, I don't care if he doesn't want to be cremated. If I don't have a life insurance policy on him, I'm getting the $699 dust in the wind special cremation.
Dust in the wind cremation. I love it.
Yeah. So if you want to make sure that things are done the way you want, make sure you have a policy or something in place to take care of those final expenses. Because in Dallas, they could be over $30,000.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And actually, it's like that was wrestling 2 years ago.
Okay.
For one person, for one plot.
Wow.
So
okay.
That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons you buy life insurance. And so we know there's only 2 things in life that are guaranteed: death and taxes. So prepare for both.
Too bad we can't buy insurance for taxes.
That'd be great.
We just have to pay it, but
don't give the actuarials any more things to put in their software,
Right. That would be an accountant's play day, probably. It'd be my nightmare because I don't think like that. Well, very good. Well, as you guys can tell, Karen knows what she's talking about. She's definitely a specialist in her field. Again, she's Medicare insurance specialist here in the state of Texas. And for additional questions, you can reach out to her. She's got an office number and a direct line, and she'd love to talk to you either way. So make sure to reach out to her. Thank you again, Karen, for your time.
Thank you, Heather, for having me.